Welcome back to another video where I upload every single day here on the channel. Now before I get into the video, make sure you guys interact with the community tab. I post some updates on there. I post some video ideas for you guys. I post polls, all that great stuff. So make sure you interact with the community tab. But let's go ahead and get into this video. Make sure you like if you're a first time subscriber. If you are a first time viewer, subscribe because I would appreciate it. And this channel has been doing great. The start of the year, this channel has been doing fantastic. So I want to say thank you guys for all the support. Today we're back with the movie reviews. I just did a review for Countdown. Today we'll be reviewing another internet horror movie that is Unfriended. Whoo, this movie Unfriended came out in 2015. Now, I know why I left this movie in 2015. This movie is utter garbage. So let me explain. So you start off with this girl. She commits suicide. I believe her name's Laura. She commits suicide. Then you cut to the movie and you see her friends. They're on Skype. The full movie is a Skype call, basically. And this movie feels very outdated. It feels very outdated to me. That's something about technology, horror movies. They're going to feel outdated in the next 2, 3 to 5 years. Countdown. Countdown just came out last year, right? I love that movie. But next year, that movie's gonna feel really outdated. In the next 2 years, that movie's gonna feel outdated. Unfriended came out in 2015. Kinda at the peak of the decade. And now we're in 2020. It's a whole new decade. Looking back on Unfriended, it's a very boring, bland, generic, snooze fest, and more importantly, you can tell it's outdated as anything. Um, this is a movie where it's like it's a drag to get through. Like I was for real, like on my phone, majority of the movie. Majority of the movie, I was just on my phone. You know what I mean? I was mainly on my phone. I didn't have any interest, none whatsoever in this movie. It started. I started to remember when I was watching this for the first time back in 2015. Yeah, I had no interest for it back then either. You know, like I said, you are introduced to the girl's friends. Like, who was the girl Laura? But Laura committed suicide. These are her friends. Yes, the friends have did horrible things to Laura, but this ghost or demon or whatever it is. That's another problem I'll get into in a minute. Whatever this is, it's so petty. Because again, yes, like some of the friends have did horrible things. I will admit that. And you really don't care too much for her friends. But there's some of the friends that didn't do too didn't do too many things bad. Like the one thing was like the ghost or like whatever it is, they, can forgive the friends. That, me just explaining this movie and hearing myself, it's super confusing. Like it really is. But Laura's friends, you got Lily, I think that's one of her names, or that maybe, her last name, but Lily, you got all these people. Um this ghost or whatever it is, it's super petty. Because again, yes, majority of friends did horrible stuff, but not a lot of them did super stuff or you gotta go out straight and murder them. You know what I mean? Like it's really on some petty stuff. And the scares aren't really there. There's really no scares. Yeah, you get a scare at the end of the movie when like the laptop closed and it's a generic cheap 2015 jump scare. That's really what it is. And to the end, he makes no sense because you see a ghost come out from the corner and the laptop closes. The ending makes no sense. On top of that, the movie as a whole makes no sense because there's one scene, right? If you pay attention, I did this one time. I thought, well, maybe it's gonna get interesting, but it didn't. In the one scene, They talk about if you confess, you're saved. You don't gotta worry about anything. Majority's fr- Majority of these friends didn't confess, so I guess they really didn't want to live. But the other confusing part is one of the girls tells the other girl just to run, when the girl was the one that discovered what you need to do is confess. She was the one that was like, "Oh yeah, you need to confess." But you're telling your friend to run and not confess to whatever this is, and that's something too. Like it's really confusing because at the start of the movie, it's almost seeming like a hacker. It's almost seeming like a hacker. Then it's seeming like it's a demon hacker. Then it's like it could be a demon and a hacker, like a human hacker teamed up with a demon. I don't know what was going on with this movie, but now I know most definitely, most certainly, why I left this movie back in 2015. I know why I left this movie back in 2015 because it's a snooze fest, outdated snooze fest. Like I said, majority of the time I was on my phone. I did not find this movie entertaining at all. They made a sequel. Guess what? I never saw the sequel. I never saw part two. And I believe part two came out, 2017? Some people say part two is amazing. Some people say it's bad. Some people say it's just as bad as the first one. You know what? I will review part two because I haven't seen part two and now I'm kind of curious. I may watch it after this video. I don't know. I'm kind of curious to see if they will do anything entertaining because, like I said, this Unfriended. Why was this movie made? Like that's my biggest question. Universal actually greenlit this movie. Think about that. This movie was actually greenlit, and for reasons I don't think me and you will, really understand. I'm kind of glad that these like technology horror movies are kind of dying down because they start to feel outdated and just they're not that fun to watch sometimes. Countdown. Like I love Countdown, one of the best technology horror movies. No matter no matter Countdown, it's really good, it's entertaining, it will feel outdated. Going back on topic of the video, because we are reviewing Unfriended. This movie, like again, Unfriended, like the biggest thing I have, why was this movie greenlit? Like again, basically the whole movie is a Skype call. That's all this movie is a Skype call, and you can barely see some of the friends because the ghost decides to scramble the camera up, so you're sitting there basically watching a blur for like some of the scenes, and then the ghost decides to mess, or the demon decides to mess with the audio. So then you got to sit there and listen to gargle audio. It's uh, who who greenlit this? That's my who greenlit this and why was it greenlit? I found this movie absolutely horrible because again, who are you supposed to feel for the girl who committed suicide? Because I'm not being mean. I did not feel for the girl. Again, she's basically murdering her so-called friends who could have just been pranking her. I don't know. And she's gonna murder all her friends in the afterlife. Murder all her friends because she has a grudge after death. You're really petty. Like, like you couldn't move on. You know what I mean? Like to me, that's so petty to me. And two, it makes no sense because one of the girls was really close to her, basically like a sister to Laura. And the girl knew what Laura was going through, and she probably knew that Laura was talking about suicide and everything. Then what Laura does, kills herself. Laura kills herself. Huh? You see how that makes no sense? Why, if her so-called friend, if she knew what she was going through, why didn't she help her? You know what I mean? It makes no sense. There's so many things that make no sense. This movie contradicts itself. 1 minute it's one thing, then it's another thing. 1 minute it's talking about something else, and the next it's talking about something else not even in context of the whole movie. Like, this movie is super boring. Don't recommend this. I seriously give this movie a 3. I rarely give movies a 3. Even if there's like a super bad film, I usually give it a 4, 5, or even a 6. A 6 is my benefit of the doubt. You know what I mean? 3, I, I will never watch it again. That is my review for Unfriended or Unfriend or whatever you want to call this thing. Like I said, I give it a 3 out of 3. I'm very curious to know, have you seen this movie and what do you think of it? I don't recommend this movie. It's one of the worst horror movies I've seen. I know for a fact why I left this movie back in 2015 because it's absolutely garbage. It's absolutely horrible. Don't recommend you guys checking this out. But until next time, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you're a first time viewer. Hit that like button. Hope everyone's year is going great. Mine is. Hope yours is too. And until next time.